Hello friends, welcome to the lecture series of our signal and system. In this lecture, we will be talking about the systems and the property of systems. Till now, we had our discussion on the signals. We study about the different types of basic signals, some other elementary signals, and we have seen various property of them. In this lecture, we will be talking about the introduction to system and system classification. This classification will be in terms of static and dynamic systems, causal and non-causal system, linear and non-linear system, time variant and time invariant system, stable and unstable systems. Starting with what is a system? Broadly speaking, the system is anything that responds when stimulated or excited. For example, in this given figure here, we have some input signal. It could be in terms of discrete signal or in terms of continuous signal. So if it is a continuous signal, we are saying this as a x of t, whereas for discrete in nature, we are saying it is a x of n. So this input signal, when fed to a system H, and it is providing us some output, and that output is only in terms of yt. So we are writing yt is equal to h into xt. So that is a system which is working on our given input. Sometimes we have the feedback in the system, sometimes we are not having any feedback in the system. Depending on the signals, whether it is a continuous signals or discrete signal, we are saying the system could be continuous time system, where we are saying ht is the response of our system, or in terms of discrete time system, where h of n is the response of our system. Generally, our system is having inputs and output, as you can say here. So we are having some inputs. So this input and outputs are nothing but our signals, and one is excitation mechanism. For example, if I am talking about the camera, so the camera is a system which is providing us an image depending on the input rays. So these rays are considered as a signals, and the camera is terms to be a system for us. Another example, like speech recognition system, where the input signals, the input waves, input frequencies are my signals which are fed to our laptops, in which we have some algorithm which is going to identify the incoming signals, and after that it is providing us the identification mark, right? So that is also example of systems. So in terms of block diagram, we are saying we are having an input, then some systems, and then we are getting the output. Now depending on this combination, so generally we are saying yt could be dependent on xt, it could be dependent of x of t minus 1, or it could be dependent on xt plus 1. So if I am saying t is equal to 1 for any given instant, let that t is equal to 1. So how this y1 will depends on the input for these three cases. So in the first case, when yt was dependent on x of t minus 1, it means when yt was depending on the previous value of xt. So that you can say when t is equal to 1, we are saying y of 1. So here we are having x of 0. So it means y1, that is the future value, is depending on, or the present value is depending on the past value of x. So that's why we call that as a x naught. So in this kind of relation, we are saying this as a past dependency. If yt is depending on the xt, that is y1 is depending on x of 1, we say this is a present dependency. Similarly, in the third case, when yt is equal to x of t plus 1, y1 is depending on x2, and we call that as a future dependency. Why we are discussing it? Because while we will be talking about the system classification, the system property, then we mostly be using these things, like that it is depending on the past input, it is depending on the present input, or it is depending on the future input. Talking about the classification of the system is broadly classified in few terms. One is static and dynamic system. Sometimes it is also known as a memory and memoryless system. Causal and non-causal system, time variant and time invariant system, linear and non-linear system, stable and unstable system. Now we will discuss them one by one. So the first one is our static and dynamic system. In the static system, the output of the system depends only on the present value of the input at any given amount of time. It means that system H is called as a static system if at any given time t, the output yt is only depending on input xt, is the function of xt only. It is not depending on past and future value of x. So we can say our static system is also a memoryless system because it is not remembering the previous value and the next future value. It is totally depending on the present values of the inputs. So static system is also my memoryless system, whereas the dynamic system is the one which is depending on present, past and future value. It is strictly depending on at least past or future value. Present might be there or not. So we call the dynamic system is a memory system. It is remembering the value of past and future values of my inputs. For example, consider a discrete signal yn equal to 2xn minus x square n whole square. So for any given amount of time, it could be discrete or continuous, let n equal to 0. So if you are saying y of 0 in this case, y0 is only depending on x0. So you can say it is 2 x0. This 2 is changing the amplitude only. Then minus x square 0. X square 0 is also changing the amplitude. But x, it is depending on the present value only. And then whole square is also working on the amplitude of the signal. Right? So this is an example of my static or memoryless system. Similarly, dynamic system, you can say we are having yn equal to summation of k minus infinite to n minus 1 xk plus x of n. So here, if I'm talking about n equal to 0, so it is depending on k values where k is varying from minus infinite to minus 1 because n is 0 in my case. So this will be x of k plus x of 0. So this x of 0 is my present input only, but since k is varying from minus infinite to minus 1, it is providing me the past values. So that's why it is dynamic system. Have an examples. First case, yt equal to axt plus b. So since it is depending on the t, these are my continuous signals and these are my discrete signals because they are depending on the n. Talking about the first example, yt equal to axt plus b. In axt plus b, you can say for any given t equal to let 0. In the first case, y0 is equal to a of x0. So it is depending on present input only. This b is nothing but an amplitude modifier. So y0 is equal to ax0. So that's why it is an example of my static system. Talking about the second example, yt equal to xt cos omega ct. Again for t equal to 0, yt is depending on x of 0 only. Similarly, in the discrete time static, I can have the x of n, y0 equal to a of x0. In the second case, y of 0 equal to nxn plus b x cube n. And the third case, yn equal to xn plus delta n minus 1. So you can say for all n equal to 0, yn is depending on the present input only. Now check for the remaining continuous time dynamic and discrete type dynamic. The first example in the dynamic, yt equal to a of xt plus b xt minus 1. So here it is depending on previous values. So it is having memory. In the second case, it is the integration from minus infinite to t. It means this xt, the yt is depending on the previous value of xt. Talking about the third case, here we are having x of 3t. So if I will take t equal to 1, it will be y1 equal to x3 plus x1. So here it is depending on the future value. Similarly, in the last part, yt equal to axt plus bxt plus 2. It is depending on the future value of my xt. So all these four types are representing the system with memory. Same is with the dynamic case. Here we are having the past dependency. This is the future dependency. Again the future dependency. If I will take n equal to 2, so y2 is depending on x4. It is n square. If it is x square n, that it is my static system. But since the given question is x of n square, so if I will take n equal to 2, y2 will be x of 4. So it means it is depending on the future value, and same here, it is depending on the future value. So in summary, we can say the given system is static in nature if it is only depending on the present value, and it is dynamic in nature if it is depending on past or future value as well. Have some questions. We need to check whether the given system is static or dynamic. In the first case, yt equal to xt plus x of t minus 1. So this is the example of my dynamic system. Second part, yt equal to x of minus t. So if I will take t equal to 1, y1 is depending on x of minus 1. So it is depending on the past value. This is my static system. Why it is static? Because sine t, the t is with the sine function, right? So whatever value you will take, so if t equal to 0, it will be x0. If t equal to 1, what it will be? For t equal to 1, we can say it will be sine 1, sine 1. You will be having some value, but that is not equal to 1. So you are in the third part, I am saying when t equal to 1, I can write it like y1 equal to sine 1. And this sine 1 will be having some value, right? And that is x of sine 1. So I can say y1 is not equal to x1 because sine 1 is not equal to 1. So again, it is having the memory. So it is not the static, it is a dynamic function. So this is also a dynamic function. Fourth one is also example of dynamic function because it is depending on the past values. The fifth one, even of xt. What is even function of xt? As we have discussed in our previous lecture, I can write yt equal to xt plus x of t minus 1. Sorry, x of minus t divided by 2. So this is my even function. So this is my new yt, or you can say this is my updated yt. Now in this case, yt is depending on x of minus t. So if t is positive, it is depending on the past value. If t is negative, it is depending on the future value. So it means this is also an example of dynamic system. Sixth question, yt equal to real part of xt. Now talking about the real part, so I can say in the sixth part, yt is nothing but, if we need to represent the real part, we can say xt plus conjugate of this xt divided by 2. So for any given t, it is depending on the present value only. So sixth one is my static system. The seventh one is also dynamic depending on minus infinite to t. And the last one, eighth question, e power minus t plus 1. So this is just changing the amplitude, and yt is depending on xt only. So this is also my static system. So out of these 8, only 2 are my static systems here. Talking about the next property, that is causal and non-causal system. A system H is said to be causal if the output of the system in any given time depends only on the present and past value. In static system, we said system is said to be static if yt is only depending on xt, only the present. But in causal system, we are saying it is depending on present and past value. It should not depend on the future values. So the system in which the output is only depending on present and past value, and it is not depending on the future value, then we call that system as a causal system. For example, the first yn equal to xn plus x of n minus 1 here. For any given n, it is depending on the present value and past value. There is no future value. So the first one is my causal system. Second example, yt equal to x square t. It is depending on my present value only because x square t, it is just changing the amplitude. So yt is depending on xt only. So I can say this is my again the example of causal and static system. It is both static and causal. The first one is my dynamic and causal. Third one, yt equal to xt cos of t plus 1. So in this case, I can say for given t equal to 0 or 1, yt is only depending on the present value. So in this case, my yt is a function of xt only. Cos t plus 1 is changing the amplitude. So this is my static and causal system. If the given system depends on the future value of input as well, then the system is said to be non-causal in nature. For example, yn equal to xn minus x of n plus 1. We have given an input-output relationship like this, where my output is depending on x of n plus 1. So for n equal to 0, y0 is depending on x of 1. That is, it is depending on the future value of xn. So that's why this system is my non-causal. Second example, yn equal to x of minus n. Here also, if I will take negative value of n. So in this case, we can say if n is my positive, if n is greater than 0, say n equal to 1. So y1 is equal to x of minus 1. So for n greater than equal to 0, the system is causal in nature because it is depending on past value of input. But for n less than 0, say n equal to minus 1. So for n equal to minus 1, y of minus 1 is depending on equal to x of 1 because n is minus 1. So it will be depending on x of 1. So here we can say it is depending on the future value. So for n is less than 0, it will be non-causal. If we are having a bounded system where n is positive only, in that case it is a causal system. But if n is not bounded, it is varying from minus infinite to infinite, in that case my given function will be non-causal in nature. The third example, yt equal to x of t plus 1. It is also depending on the future value. So we can say this is my non-causal system. So all the non-causal system are my memory system. For example, if I'm taking an example something like yn equal to xn. This is my static system or memoryless system, and it is also causal system. Whereas yn equal to x of minus n or x of n plus 1, where the system is my non-causal, it will be memory system. So all the non-causal system should be my memory system or dynamic system. Let's have some examples. We need to identify whether the given system are causal or non-causal. Now in the first case, if I am considering yt equal to x of 2t, for t equal to 1, y1 is depending on x of 2. It means yt is depending on future value of xt. So the first one is my non-causal system. It is non-causal as well as dynamic system. Second part, yt equal to x of minus t. Here in all these examples, we are considering the non-bound system. So t is varying from minus infinite to infinite. So when t is negative, y of minus 1 will depend on x of 1. It is also depending on the future value. So we can say my second example is also example of non-causal system. So starting two are my non-causal and dynamic system. Third one, yt equal to x of sin t. Now if you will see here, yt equal to x of sin t, let t equal to minus pi. I am just taking the value t equal to minus pi. So it will be y of minus pi. So y of minus 3.14. Sin pi will be 0. So it is depending on x of 0. So I can say it is depending on future value of x, future value of my input. So my third one is also non-causal system. The fourth one, yt equal to x of 2t when t is less than 0, and it is equal to x of t minus 1 when t is greater than equal to 0. So when t is positive, let t equal to 1. y1 will be x of 0 depending on the past value, and if t is negative, y of minus 1 will depend on x of minus 2. So in any given amount of time t, the yt is depending on past value of xt. So the fourth one is my causal system. It is causal and dynamic because it is depending on the past value. It means we are having memory. So this is my causal system. Fifth one, yt equal to odd of xt. Now when we are saying the odd function of xt means xt minus x of minus t divided by 2. So if I am representing the 5 in the fifth question, we can write yt is equal to xt minus of x of minus t divided by 2. So for any given time, let t equal to minus 1. y of minus 1 will be depending on x of 1, depending on the future value. So the fifth one is my non-causal. Sixth question, sin t plus t is the changing the amplitude only, and yt is depending on x of t minus 1. So it is my causal system depending on the past values only. Seventh question, limit is from minus infinite to t, and we are talking about the yt. It means it is depending on the past value minus infinite to t. If the limit is from t to infinite, then it should have depended on the future value. But since the limit is from minus infinite to t, it is depending on the past value. So seventh question is also my causal system. Question 8. Same question only, but the limit is from minus infinite to t plus 1. It means for y0, t equal to 0, it is depending on x of 1 because the upper limit is t plus 1. So it is going for the future value of xt. It means the eighth one is my non-causal. Ninth one, it is all again depending on 2t. So it is depending on the future value of time. So the ninth one is also my non-causal system. We will stop here, and tomorrow we will start the next property, that is linearity, time invariant and all. In summary, we can say the static system is one in which my output is only depending on present input only. It is not depending on past and future value. If the output is depending on past and future value as well, this will be my memory system or dynamic system, because it has to remember the past and future values. Similarly, the causal system is one in which the output is only depending on present input and past input. It is not depending on the future input. If my output is depending on future inputs as well, it will be my non-causal system. And strictly speaking, all the non-causal systems are my dynamic system because it will be depending on the future value. So it has to be with memory. Okay, thank you.